Joining me now is White House reporter for the Washington Examiner, Naomi Lim, a first-time guest on the U.S. Report, plus political commentator and contributing writer for the Media Research Center, Stephanie Hamill. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us. Now, it's been a big week in politics, and Naomi, let's start with you. What did you make of the optics of Donald Trump beating the Biden administration to East Palestine, Ohio? How did the White House let themselves get beat to the punch on this one?
Well, I'm going to disagree with Savannah. I do think it was a political move on the part of Donald Trump. He is, after all, the main frontrunner in the race for the presidential nomination for the Republican side in 2024. I do think that there are considerations with the White House in terms of Joe Biden wanting to go to Ukraine to mark the anniversary of Russia's invasion. There's a role that Biden wants to carve for himself on the world stage. But as you sort of said, it has come at the expense of him not being able to deal with domestic issues at home. They've sort of defended it, saying, this has been a, multi-federal agency approach. He might still go, but at the moment they do look like they're being caught flat-footed, and there's been this unusual dynamic between sort of the criticism that the president is receiving as well as what the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, is receiving.
Indeed. And, you mentioned, Naomi, that trip that Joe Biden made to Ukraine, that impromptu visit that was planned apparently for months to send quite the message to Russia. But, Stephanie, I want to ask you, Joe Biden says freedom is worth fighting for in Ukraine, but what about in America? Because we've heard so many questions about, what the FBI has been doing, about, everything from school boards being put on watch lists to the way they've tried to control the narrative on Twitter. Wouldn't it be nice to see Joe Biden also say that freedom in the United States is something worth fighting for?
That would be quite refreshing, but unfortunately, that doesn't ever seem to be the case. And a lot of us are supportive of the efforts in Ukraine, but also they want to see people, the people want to see a president who actually cares about the people in their country. And when we have this disaster in East Palestine, Ohio, you would expect that the Biden administration would react much faster, not wait until close to week 3 to send their transportation secretary. So Biden's planned trip to Ukraine is almost just symbolic of this presidency. He's tripping over the stairs on Air Force One, getting to Ukraine, while we have the former president, Donald Trump, heading to East Ohio to hand out water and supplies. And you could be critical and say, oh, well, he's just doing it because he's campaigning and he's running for president. Okay, but he's still doing more than what the Biden administration is at this point in time.